going to take a look at one of the other beers that was in that Blue Moon Tasters pack that I brought home. Going to take a look at the Pale Moon Belgian Style Pale Ale. 5.4% ABV. Comes from Golden, Colorado, although this is a Molson Coors product, so this is basically available all across the United States. We don't get it up here in New Brunswick or in Canada anywhere. Basically, the closest thing we've got to Blue Moon is Rickards, which pretty much, other than their white beer, has a different lineup of stuff. They've got like a red ale, pilsner, like a porter. It's not really a porter, but whatever. So, Belgian Style Pale Ale, Pale Moon, is our unique take on a pale ale. It is crafted with a touch of wheat, to offer an inviting hop taste with a smooth finish. Pale Moon is brewed with Cascade hops, so it's going to be great for you. European malts and a touch of orange peel and hibiscus, all perfectly balanced in this copper-colored ale. Cheers. Hibiscus. If you look on my channel for Yarritos soda pop review that I did a while ago, it was a Jamaica hibiscus. It was Yarritos Jamaica was what it was called, and it's a hibiscus flavored soda pop. And I remember it being vinegary and fruity, and it was really not that great. So I'm hoping this is better. Belgian Style Pale Ale, crafted with a hint of wheat, orange peel, hibiscus, for a perfectly balanced hop taste and smooth finish. Got the basic Blue Moon cap on the top of that one. Taste responsibly. Alright, let's crack it open and give it a taste. That nice Sam out of the glass. Well, it's a little darker and this is a common thing I've noticed about all of the Blue Moon products so far, is that they're darker than I would expect from your typical Belgian whatever style it is. This is supposed to be a Belgian pale ale. A lot of pale ales are typically darker than your average beer, or than you would expect from the name pale ale. I mean, basically pale ale came from the first kinds of beers that were, lighter than stouts, basically, things that weren't dark, as purification systems and on the roasting of the barley got better. Now they're like almost clear, see-through kind of pea colors, but this is actually really nice looking for pale ale, but a little darker than I'm used to when it comes to a Belgian style. That said, it's got a nice amount of head. I got almost to the rim of the glass, but it's died down about half a finger. So that was about like 2.5 fingers ahead. Now it's down to 2. It's taking on a nice pillowy appearance. The color-wise, it's like an orange amber kind of color. And it's got some decent carbonation, although I've got an etching at the bottom of the glass that kicks up some carbonation, so it's might be a little bit more than what some people might get, depending upon the type of glassware you use. Let's give it a sniff. It's almost got like a boozy toffee kind of smell to it. Perhaps a little bit fruity. Like white grape or something. I mean, strangely enough, a lot of the products I've had from Blue Moon so far have been kind of weird as far as being Belgian style. This is actually pretty close to what I would expect from a smell from a Belgian, but very mild and less detailed. I would expect more spices from the Belgian. I'm not picking up any kind of like coriander or kind of clovey spiciness or anything, or any kind of detailed smell like a raspy kind of smell or anything. It's just mainly this mildly sweet, fruity kind of smell, which I still like well enough. It's actually pretty good, but it's not really something that's absolutely noticeable and it would like poke up your nose or anything. Clean boogers out. Sorry. Little hints of brown sugar in there, but it's not like absolutely noticeable. I'm barely picking up anything from this one at all. Checking to see if it's recording still, sorry. Yeah. It's also not as cloudy, it's definitely filtered. And your typical Belgian pale ale's is bottled on yeast, so that's another detracting factor. Alright, it's good to taste. Not a very incredible detailed taste. It comes into your mouth with... This is weird. It kind of comes into your mouth with the impression that you should be feeling like a bit of a toffee or a fruity taste, like a red fruit taste. And a little bit of an herbal bitterness in the back. There's some nice spicy bitterness, and I'm actually getting this nice little gentle gourmet coffee note in the back as well. But you would expect there to be a nice malty, sweet backbone to this, and there's almost no sweetness at all to this. There's a little bit of toffee sweetness in the very back, but it's not enough to really match up with kind of the impressions that you get going into this beer. Like on the tip of the tongue, you got this little bit of red fruit sweetness on the tip, and it gives way into this earthy herbal bitterness in the very center of the back. And it's very light too. Medium light. It's not like light like Cheval Blanc was. But it's very lacking in substance. With a Belgian, I would expect to be a nice malty sweet beer for a pale ale, and I'm not getting that from this. At the very least, it's not like the Blue Moon Belgian White where I got a lot of corn here. I hardly taste any kind of adjunct off flavors or any rice flavors. It actually does come across as tasting good. It's just not sweet enough. Other than that, though, it's got some nice, like, toffee tastes, red fruit tastes, and earthy herbal bitterness in the back. And it finishes nice and dry, so it is enjoyable in that sense. It's just, it's not sweet enough. Anyway, I'm going to sit down with this one for a bit, and I'll come back with some thoughts. Be right back. And we're back with Blue Moon's Pale Moon Belgian Style Pale Ale. So, what did I think with this one? It's pretty close to Belgian, but not quite Belgian. Maybe more like French or Dutch or something. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's not something I would really call a true Belgian style, but it's inoffensive, and it's not a bad tasting beer. Really, though, I would have appreciated a little bit more, like a malty backbone. And as it warmed up, the taste of the adjuncts that they would use in this thing, like that touches the corn, it's very faint, but it did appear in the back of the taste, and it really lost something for me in that respect. It's not bad, and I would probably drink this again if I were offered it. And I think in the end, I do want to sit down and enjoy the rest of this beer, which is kind of why I've been taking my time with it. But it's not something I would call absolutely incredible, or absolutely worth buying. It doesn't hold a candle to DeConnick, because it's the closest beer I can think of that in taste to this beer, and DeConnick just mops the floor with this thing. I actually really like DeConnick. I would definitely take that over this. However, this one's probably a lot cheaper. I don't know. It's basically a Belgian clone by a macro company, and it really shows. Subtle, like, junky taste in the very back. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5, just because it's inoffensive. It's pretty good. but it's not as good as what a true Belgian would be. I would think that if you wanted a Belgian style beer, I'd go with something like a, probably like an Allagash, if you're in Canada, I'd go with like a Brasseur d'Arget or a Unibrew product rather than something like this, because while this isn't absolutely bad, you could probably certainly do much worse than this. It's a great intro beer to craft beers. It's not the greatest one out there, and it's not the best thing since sliced bread. And it's not avoidable. I would recommend it in a very slight amount, but it's not incredibly bad. But it's not something I would really want to go buy over a true Belgian or even a decent craft brew Belgian that's available around here. Anyway, that's my thoughts. 3.5 out of 5 for Pale Moon. No, that's not 3.5. 3 out of 5 for Pale Moon for me. Thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's Beer Reviews. Talk to you guys later. Cheers.